Ellen and I are the wolves inside the hen house in a Republican
and you'll find out that when they made these tax cuts,
Saturday meeting at Golden Corral, this was the only table.
The same, or went down by an average of 2.7%, except for the highest tax bracket, and that went up 0.5%.
Interesting.
If those tax cuts from 2017 go away, the average American family will get a $3,000 increase in their federal taxes.
Bullshit.
So when someone tells you they're just favoring the rich, no, you got a $3,000 cut when they put them in place, and that will go away, so your tax bill will rise by $3,000 on an average family. I want to talk about one other thing, and that was the kerfluffle over the parks. Republicans like Smokey the Bear. We like park rangers. We like national parks. But what we want them to do is be good stewards with our money. The Park Service, or the left, have been complaining that if they get any cuts, all of these desperately needed maintenance that they were doing, have you heard about this? Will not get done, and the parks will be terrible. They'll be unsafe, they'll be terrible. Well, I just want to point something out to you. 5 years ago, they said the same thing. And they pointed out 5 years ago of 300 deferred maintenance projects that absolutely had to be done or the parks would become unsafe. So President Trump signed a bill called the Great American Outdoors Act in 2020. And it specifically said for the next 5 years, we were going to give the Park Service an additional $1.9 billion for the next 5 years to address these 300 can't defer it anymore, or the Park Service will get dangerous things. So we're in the 5th year of that now. How much money have we spent? Almost $10 billion, okay? 9.5 billion with the B. Of the 300 projects, how many of them do you think are now completed 5 years later? Somebody said none. No, you need to be a little more optimistic. Better than one. 30. 1/10 of these absolutely have to be done projects have been completed over 5 years, $2 billion later. That's almost the price of an Arleigh Burke destroyer that we gave the Park Service to fix these things. And 5 years and $2 billion later, 10% of the projects were done. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask the Park Service, what happened to the rest of that money? Maybe something came up. I don't know. But before we give you another $2 billion, I'd like to know what you did with the first $2 billion we gave you for this project. And I don't think that's unreasonable, and I'm sure you don't think so either. So when you hear that argument, just mention this to them, that President Trump got them almost $10 billion. What did they do with it? And the final thing I'll say, if you want to make a lot of money, because I've been studying this, create a 501c3 to charity. Put climate in it somewhere. Get a former member of President Obama's administrative team or President Biden's administrative team on your board, and the money will roll in. Case in point, family endeavors. They get a guy on board, and he comes over from Homeland Security to their board. They're the ones that were getting the $18 million a month rent on a hall that's empty, that was supposed to house migrants that have been empty. That's $18 million a month. Do the math on that. Now, I'm not saying correlation is causation, but they didn't start getting that money until that guy came over on their board. That's when the money started rolling in for them.